First, I'm going to introduce ourselves. My name is Regina. I'm from Hela. And my friend here, her name is Shali. She's from Hela too. And the other one there, his name is Moses. He's from Southern Highlands. We just came here to make a biographical documentaries for our new airfield.
Hi, welcome to Como, Southern Highlands, Papua New Guinea.
In June 2010, MCJV, a joint venture between McConnell Dowell and Consolidated Contracting Company, was awarded the contract to construct a 3.2-kilometre airfield for the PNG LNG project. Located in the remote Hela province in the highlands of Papua New Guinea, the airfield would be located at Como, just 22 kilometres from the new Hides gas plant, which would then condense and transport the gas via 700 kilometres of pipeline to Port Moresby, where it would be liquefied and shipped to Asia.
This here is the Como airfield, which will be the largest airport in Papua New Guinea.
So we're building an airport, the biggest in PNG, 3.2 kilometer length runway to accommodate for the landing of the biggest airplane in the world, the Antonov.
The landing of the Antonov will supply the Hides gas plant with oversized parts that they can't get up the Highlands Highway and must be flown in.
We have many challenges on this project. One of the major ones is logistics.
Getting all the equipment up the Highlands Highway from Lae. In those days when we first started, it was a sort of a 4-day one-way trip, bringing the convoys up here, and we've had many, many loads.
We crossed many bridges, and these bridges are quite old, and the road is very, very rough. We started in a small tent to build a camp that we call a pioneer camp, a 20-man camp.
The Pioneer Camp quickly progressed to a 150-man camp, which was then followed by the construction of the final, modern, high-quality 600-bed camp, with 2 dining rooms, an official compound, and refueling depot.
We started from nothing, from a small tent, and we built a city now.
One of your major health challenges, obviously, is malaria, dengue fever, and encephalitis. To mitigate that, we've got a company from America as a vector control, and they're doing a marvellous job going around the site, controlling mosquitoes, controlling rodents and so on. An issue we've rose to the challenge to is water. We're taking the water locally. Now that's treated 2 ways. That's treated both with chlorine and it goes through a UV system. Both systems would stand alone. We've doubled up to make sure the water is clean to drink.
The key for the success of this project is building a good relation with the community. We have 800 languages that are spoken in PNG.
At one end of the airport to the other end, we have like so many tribes, but 15 or 14 tribes. They have lived long time. They have lived in here.
The community relations obviously is important on this project because we've come into an area where there really hasn't been worked before, and then working with the people, understanding that we're buying their land, we're giving them jobs, and we're bringing benefits to the community.
With the cooperation of the people, now they are quite understanding why the project is here, what the project is going to help them.
We have strengthened the CA department, which is the community affairs, and we are meeting on a weekly basis with the chiefs of all the surrounding clans around us, and we have formed the CIC, which is the Community Issues Committee. That has bridged the gap between MCJV and the surrounding clans.
They have a very good community relationship. That's very remarkable of MCJV, what I feel here, because I see MCJV growing, I see MCJV working, and I see also the people around how they deal with MCJV.
People are now beginning to realize the importance of the project and then are accepting the construction team, MCJV, Exxon and everybody in there.
About 7 to 8 million cubic metres of earth to level out for the runway area itself. Fills vary from 30 metres deep to 30 metre sized cuts as well.
The airfield was divided into 5 major zones, A, B, C and D, with Zone E being the operations and terminal area. The soil itself proved to be extremely challenging. There were substantial variations in the types of soils across the site, requiring different treatment and solutions in different areas.
A learning curve for a lot of the earthworks guys here in dealing with the type of clays that we used to dealing with here. The alloysite clays, which are essentially volcanics. The compaction of the material to achieve the design has been a bit of a challenge, but that's been something that we've worked on and overcome.
Throughout the project, one issue literally overshadowed all others.
The weather, still factor number one.
The rain. The rain is continuous. Last year we had 5 meters of rain here. It's only the rain. I think this would be a fairly easy job if it wasn't for the rain.
The weather's probably the biggest challenge here. A high percentage of rainfall. We get typically around about 4 to 6 meters of rain up in the Como area each year. So for an earthworks job, that's probably the single most biggest challenge. As the earthworks draws to a close, we then got to build the runway itself. So the runway comprises of about 1 metre of imported rock aggregates, which we've developed a quarry called TB1. We supply all the aggregates through that quarry. Those come in by tipper trucks, and we've got about 467,000 cubic metres of rock to haul in just to build the pavement layers for the runway. It's about 12 or 13 kilometres from our present site, and the rock, when it comes into site, gets stockpiled and then reprocessed at a secondary screening area, which makes the various sizes of aggregates that we need for the different layers of pavement.
Once the basic earthworks were completed in each zone, the actual runway was levelled, reinforced and compacted using 3 layers of imported rock aggregates. 3 layers of rock comprised the runway. The 1.2 metre sacrificial layer of 150 mm rock was laid first, followed by a 50 cm deep sub-base consisting of 37 mm aggregate. It was then topped with 4 50 mm alternating layers of emulsion bitumen and asphalt. To produce the 50,000 tonnes of asphalt required to build the runway, MCJV built an on-site asphalt plant, which at full capacity produced 550 tonnes of hot asphalt per 10-hour day and could be worked around the clock. With the asphalting starting at the northern end and progressing southerly, the runway and airstrip soon started taking shape.
So after the asphalt, there is 2 activities to come after that, basically the grooving and the line marking.
Installation of the runway lights, fencing and preliminary landscaping indicated that the runway was almost ready for testing. The final completion and fit-out of the terminal building and the installation and testing of the instrumentation, glide path and DVOR signalled the facility's completion. Finally, on the 3rd of May 2013, the Como airfield was ready for the arrival of the first Antonov cargo jet. The culmination of years of effort saw the massive Russian-built Antonov cargo jet, with its 69-metre wingspan and 200-plus tonne payload capability, land and slowly taxi to the terminal area to successfully offload the first of 88 scheduled runs. At 5 runs a week, the Como airfield would see 3 months of consistent runway use before all the major pieces of plant had been delivered.
The Antonov landing on the 3rd of May was a successful event and a successful project.
The MCJV Como Airfield Project, an outstanding example of how a world-class project can be successfully undertaken in remote, inaccessible terrain and still leave an ongoing positive legacy for the people and future generations of Papua New Guinea.